Hello my lovely people, today we have one short story, title. Caught my sister-in-law nursing my baby, and now everyone's taking her side. For a bit of context, I, 27, have a brother whose wife, 28, has never been able to conceive. They've struggled with fertility issues for years. My sister-in-law and I used to get along fairly well, although it was never an exceptionally close relationship. For most of my brother and his wife's relationship, I had been pregnant. They are technically newlyweds. Just after their wedding, my husband and I discovered that we were expecting our first child. We had always talked about having kids, and we were thrilled. When we announced the pregnancy 2 months after the wedding, my SIL was genuinely excited, and we all shared in the happiness. Fast forward a few months, and SIL had become a huge help. She frequently assisted around the house, bringing me things and offering support. We were really grateful for her efforts. She also loved rubbing my belly, which I assumed was just something people like to do during pregnancies. It wasn't until she and others started suggesting baby names that I began to feel a bit suspicious, but I decided to brush it off. Fast forward again to the birth of our baby. 2 months had passed since the birth, and my SIL adored spending time with our little one. I understood that, given her own struggles with infertility, she found joy in being around my baby, and I was happy to share that joy with her. One day, my husband suggested we go out for a date, as it had been months since we had any time for ourselves. I agreed, and we asked SIL to babysit, which she happily agreed to do. Halfway through our date, my husband got called into work. He has a job where he can be called in at random times, so this wasn't unusual. We said our goodbyes and went our separate ways. When I arrived home, I headed straight to the nursery to check on my baby. To my shock and horror, I found my SIL with her breast in my child's mouth, attempting to nurse. I screamed, and she quickly fixed herself. I was livid. I took my baby and told her to leave immediately. Since then, my phone has been flooded with messages from family members urging me to forgive her. They argue that she acted out of desperation because she couldn't have children and that it was a momentary lapse in judgment driven by the heat of the moment and my baby's cries. Despite their pleas, I remain firm in my decision. I don't want her near my baby again. What should I do? I'm so confused and torn right now. Update. I recently talked to my husband about the whole situation with his sister. I expressed my belief that his sister needs professional help and mentioned that I wanted to take this matter to the police. However, he wasn't open to the idea, even though I'm seriously considering it. For the moment, my baby and I have decided to stay with my grandma. I just need some time for myself and my baby. During this time, I'm having my husband set up cameras around the house for added security. This entire ordeal has been incredibly overwhelming. I forgot to mention that my SIL found my original post about the incident. Since then, she has been blowing up my phone and contacting my close friends on social media. Tonight, I am planning to sit down and talk with my close friends. We have arranged to have dinner, and I will be leaving my baby with a trusted friend who has children of her own. I hope that during this conversation, my friends will understand my perspective when I explain that my SIL needs to seek help, or I will have no choice but to go to the police. I have been reading the comments on my post, and I want to thank everyone for their support. Someone recommended that I watch the movie The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, and after watching it, I realized how similar it was to my situation. I also found it quite eye-opening. Some people think that my story isn't real. I truly wish it wasn't. Unfortunately, this is exactly what has happened. Right now, my daughter is napping, and I'm taking this quiet moment to gather my thoughts. My grandma has been a tremendous blessing during this difficult time.